Okay, today we're doing interpreting rates. So we're going to be talking about unit rates. That's the whole topic for today. It says, let's explore unit rates. So you're just listening. So suppose a farm lets us pick 2 pounds of blueberries for $5. We can say we get 2/5 pounds of blueberries per dollar. Notice the pound and the dollar and where they are in the sentence. And then it also has the blueberries cost 5/2 per pound. So notice that now we have dollars per pound. So the cost per pound and the number of pounds per dollar are the two unit rates for the situation. And then what you do is you can put it in the chart that you see on the left, and that's going to kind of tell you. So if you look per pound, right, it's $5/2. And for $1, you could get 2/5 pounds of blueberries. So it just kind of all depends on the wording today, but they are interchangeable. Okay, so a unit rate tells us how much of one quantity for one of the other quantity. Each of these numbers is useful depending on the situation. If we want to find out how much 8 pounds of blueberries cost, it helps to know how much 1 pound costs. Remember, I've been telling you that over and over again. Find the cost or find the amount for one, and then you'll be able to multiply it to any quantity that they give you. And now the second one says, if we want to find out how many pounds we can buy for $10, it helps us know how many pounds for $1. Which unit rate is most useful depends on what question we're answering. So either one works. You just need to make sure that you're following the wording and you're also following answering the question, right? That's really like the key to today. So we have cooking oatmeal. You're on page 32 in your book. Okay, so we have Priya, Han, Lynn, and Diego. They are all camping and on a trip with their families. The first morning, Priya and Han make oatmeal for the group. The instructions for a large batch say bring 15 cups of water to a boil and then add 6 cups of oats. All right, so you have Priya. Priya says the ratio of cups of oats to cups of water. So you got to kind of look at what's going on here. So oats and water, she's saying is 6/15 right there. And if you look above, 6 oats, 15 water. So that works, right? Her reasoning makes sense. That is 0.4 cups of oats per cup of water. So then you have Han. Han says the ratio of cups of water to cups of oats is 15/6. So he's kind of doing it in reverse. He's doing water first, then oats. And that would be 2.5 cups of water per cup of oats. So it says who's correct. So I worked out the chart. And what I did is I first did 15 divided by 6. That's automatically what I do. So I did 15 cups divided by 6 oats. And that gave me this 2.5. Okay. And then what you can do is you could swap it. So what if I want to know the oats? Well, you just divide it the other way. So you would just do 6 divided by 15. And that's how I got this 0.4 that you see. So in the chart, I want you to fill in the 0.4 and the 2.5. And then I want you to write these two equations because that's how I solved it. So I divided first 15 divided by 6, and that gave me the cups. And then I reversed it. I did 6 divided by 15, and that gave me the oats. So both kids are right. All right, now number 2, page 33. The next weekend after the camping trip, Lynn and Diego each decide to cook a large batch of oatmeal to have breakfast ready for the whole week. Lynn decides to cook 5 cups of oats, so that's kind of important. How many cups of water should she boil? Well, remember, if we're dealing with the water, that's where I got the 2.5 that you see here. So you're going to write down, you would do 5 times, so the 5 comes from there, the 2.5 that I already found. And your answer would be 12 and a half cups of water, 12.5. Now it has Diego boils 10 cups of water. How many cups of oats should he add? So now when I'm dealing with oats per 1, I have 0.4, right? So I'm going to do this 10 times that 0.4, and that gave me 4. So it kind of just depends on what they're asking. And you can divide it each way. And then you can take your answer and multiply it to whatever they give you, which is what you've been doing over and over again. So now we're dealing with unit rate. So a unit rate is a rate per 1. Okay, and that's what I've been teaching you this whole unit, all last unit too. So page 33 is where you should be. So they give you a little remember. In the last activity, we used 15 cups of water for every 16 cups of oats. We can write that as 0.4 cups of oats per cup of water, or we could say 2.5 cups of water per cup of oats. Then they give you a little example here. You're just kind of listening. For example, 12 people share 2 pies equally, right? 1 unit rate is 6 people per pie, because 12 divided by 2 is 6. Another way to use the unit rate is 1/6 of a piece of pie per person. So 2 divided by 12 makes 1/6. So when I've been telling you guys, when you're punching it in a calculator, that it depends on how you're punching it in, this is why. This is exactly why. So we're doing this one here. Number 1. A cheesecake recipe mixes 12 ounces of cream cheese with 15 ounces of sugar. So you got 12 cream cheese, 15 sugar. That's the important parts. How many ounces of cream cheese are there for sugar? So I did 12 over 15, and I reduced it. I divided each of those by 3. So 12 over 15, if you divide each of those by 3, you get 4/5. Okay, now that's important to know for B. How many ounces? Now you're going the opposite way. You're going sugar to cream cheese. Well, you just flip it. It would be 5 over 4. You're dividing it opposite. All right, number 2, May's family drinks 10 gallons of milk every 6 weeks. How many gallons of milk do they drink per week? Remember that when we do per, that's we're finding 1, right? So if I have gallons over weeks, 10 over 6. Now I did 10 over 6. I divided those by 2. I reduced them. And I got 5 over 3. And you need to make sure you reduce. Now, if it says, well, how many weeks does it take for 1 gallon? You flip it. So now I have the 3 as the numerator and the 5 as the denominator. So Tyler paid $16 for 4 raffle tickets. What is the price per ticket? So what's the price for 1 ticket? You would do the cost divided by the amount. So 16 divided by 4 is $4. So they would pay $4. Now it says, how many tickets is that per dollar? Okay, so now we're looking at per dollar. Divide it the opposite way. Do 4 divided by 16 and you would get a quarter, 0.25. So any ratio has 2 associated unit rates. Unit rates can be often calculated efficiently with a single operation. We are dividing and multiplying. Depending on the problem you want to solve, 1 unit rate might be more useful than the other. Okay, so join the meet and we'll start the practice.